Now here is something you don't see very often. This is a 1987-88 Honda VFR750R RC30. And the first thing you notice is the colour. It's not red, white and blue with a little thin gold stripe. No, that is actually the livery they all came in. But HRC, which is Honda's race arm, who produced the RC30, manufactured between 30 and 50 examples in white, and this is called the Ghost Edition, or nicknamed the Ghost Edition. Quite a good name, I think. Now these white versions were used as pace bikes at Suzuka and on the old press launch. Not all of them have survived. Some have been crashed, some ended up on the racetrack as race bikes, and the rest of them seem to all be in collectors' hands and are very highly prized, as collectors always look for the unusual and rare. Now, apart from the white livery, it's exactly the same as an 87-88 Japanese domestic market RC30. So with that, you get the small indicators tucked very tight in at the back and at the front, and you get the smaller headlights, which were seen later on the NC30, the VFR750R. Now, this small headlight design was the original design for the bike, but for the European markets to meet, and worldwide markets to meet construction and use, bigger headlights were what was required, and indicators had to be a certain size and width and distance away from the bike, so they had to be changed. So if you see a European model RC30, the indicators are big things sticking out here, bigger headlights and a slightly more untidy look. Same bike, but not as pretty. Now this example unfortunately is not for sale. We previously supplied this to a client who bought this along with an OW01 and a 888 Ducati, so he has a lovely garage full of 3 classics there. Now unfortunately in the last few years work commitments meant he hasn't been able to use this RC30, so he asked us to do some recommissioning work. Sadly the brakes had seized, the carburetor had issues and we had some coolant leaks. The brakes were fairly simple. We stripped those, cleaned them, blasted the casings, the brake caliper casings, refinished those with new seals and pads and of course fresh fluid. The coolant leaks, now you are able to get nearly all the O-rings from Honda still, and we've replaced all of those, and we managed to find a source for the one remaining one that isn't available. Flush the system through and with the correct coolant. Now what you've got to be careful on these RC30s is there's a lot of magnesium in the casings, and one of the magnesium casings is the water pump cover. If you've got water in there, God forbid, without any kind of antifreeze or glycol corrosion inhibitor, they will corrode, they will rot out. We have seen at least one of those with holes in, and they're virtually impossible to repair satisfactorily. Lucky on this bike it was okay. The carburetors, well, what always makes or amazes me that people expect these bikes to be as good as they were nearly 40 years ago with the original rubber and plastic parts. Now the diaphragms on this, all 4 diaphragms had gone very hard, so the throttle slides were not moving freely, and one of them had a hole in which wasn't moving at all. So we managed to replace the slide diaphragms and rebuilt the cars with new needles, gaskets, and set the bike up, and she's lovely now. Starts on the button with a full service, all fluids, oil and air filter. Now a lovely example, and I have to say this, should you ever get the chance to have a go on an RC30, beg, borrow and steal, bribe, anything, because they are a sublime machine. I mean, Honda were very proud of this bike, and this is what the early RC30s had on the frame, this lovely plaque. For those few who can appreciate the finest motorsports has to offer. I mean, that's really being proud of your product. And you know, these are a fantastic machine. Let's hear how she starts and runs. As you can hear, a lovely V4 rumble. And one of the beautiful things about this bike is you get a lot of torque. Now the riding position is very 1980s, so you sit in the bike rather than on it, so you very much feel part of the riding experience. And as they're tall geared, on an English B road you can usually use just 2 gears to make very good progress. I mean, power wise, not hugely powerful. I mean, little over half really what a new V4 Panigale R makes. But that just goes to show what nearly 40 years of development and quality means for power outputs for bikes. And whilst the V4 Panigale R is a fantastic machine and one of my favourites, you have to say it's actually a little bit on the too powerful side. Great for track days, but on the road, really too much. Now, one of these are a great road bike, fun to ride, and I think if you get the chance, like I mentioned before, do have a go on one. Great collectible and holding their money very well. Now, one of the reasons we're showing this to you, even though it's not for sale, is we do specialise in these. We've currently got 11 in stock awaiting prep before sale. We've also sold a lot of RC45 and NR750s. We've probably sold more NR750 than most people, and some of the bikes we've sold have ended up in America, literally all over the world, along with RC30s and 45s. So if you'd like any more information, or you'd like to have your bike recommissioned, or just need some advice, please feel free to contact us, either directly on YouTube, or you can contact us through our website, Classic and Rare. And from this weekend we'll be advertising on Car and Classic. We tend to release our bikes slowly to the market, so it's always worth asking us what we have. Just because you don't see it advertised doesn't mean we don't have it. So again, a fantastic motorcycle. Let's turn that off. A fantastic motorcycle, huge fun to ride, and really you'd be lucky ever to see another white edition. And so we look forward to hearing from you, and if you need any more information, just please feel free to contact us, and we welcome your comments.